Just for the record, pretty much any vehicle on the planet can be adapted for someone who uses a wheelchair.
And electric vehicles don't require you to go to the gas station, which is very important, and you'll see in a moment.
For the past, 6 or 7 years, Cambry's been driving a Tesla Model X, which has been great for us, but it's nearing the end of its battery warranty, and so we are feeling out some other options and seeing if there's another electric vehicle that might work better.
Behind us, we have Rivian's second edition of the R1S. We're gonna give it a whirl and see what we think. In my vehicle, I have permanent hand controls, and in this one, we've installed some temporary ones, thanks to Zach.
Temporary hand controls basically just bolt onto the brake pedal and the accelerator pedal and allow them to be used by someone's hands instead of their feet. I can press in for brakes and pull back for acceleration, and it's creatively designed so that neither of the pedals can get pressed at the same time.
One of the requirements for my new car is that I can get inside of it easily. Now, we've already dropped the Rivian down a little bit, and I've lowered the seat down, so we'll see if this passes the test.
Right now it's in kneel mode, which still seems a little bit high for me, but that's the display says it's in kneel mode. So previously, back in college, Cambry drove around, what did you drive?
A Jeep Grand Cherokee.
So she chose a vehicle in college that was slightly higher than normal.
And I have lowered the seat to the lowest setting also. So I just have to put my feet in and then grab hold and see if I can get myself in. I made it!
Nice. You can kind of see why going to a gas station and getting out to fill up would be kind of difficult. Now the other thing is this door does seem a bit smaller than what you're used to, so let's see if you can get your chair into the passenger seat.
Yeah, this could be the deal breaker if I can't get it in by myself.
If I'm going with her, I would just take the chair and throw it in the back, and then I would jump in the passenger seat, but we're not always going to the same places at the same time.
We're not inseparable.
And this is called an active wheelchair, which is like something that someone sits in, but it collapses enough that it's also portable. She's taken the cushion off.
The large wheels off first.
That's kind of a far reach, but you do have a handle up here.
Yeah, my vehicle currently now does not have this.
The Tesla.
Like marketing.
You're being way more cautious than you usually are.
It's because it's not my car.
So she's putting the wheels behind the two seats. All right, moment of truth.
Got to get more space between myself and the steering wheel. So. Okay, I think it's better now. And it gives me more stability in my core. You can zoom in on my biceps if you want.
Perfect.
Woo, there she goes.
Step one wasn't the easiest, but you're in. 10 out of 10.
Thanks.
Nice work.
Tried.
Forgot this was wrong.
Oh.
Oh, no.
We're married. Ready. I need the keys.
Oh, yeah. How do these hand controls differ from your other hand controls?
There's a few things, but the main thing is my hand controls, if I rock down, then I go forward. And if I push it forward, I stop. And with these ones, I push forward for stopping and pull back to go.
So
that was real good.
This should be an adventure then.
Yeah, I think you're in good hands.
Okay.
There you go.
Nice. So let's begin. We are officially not using our feet. What Cambry was telling me on the way up here is like it's a little bit interesting because she only drives cars that have hand controls in it, so she doesn't drive other cars very often. Like she's driven the Model X, and like her parents still have her old Subaru that has the hand controls installed. But for the most part, like have you driven other, well, you rent cars sometimes.
I rent, yeah, it's like maybe once a year I hop into another vehicle that has hand controls, but like I'm never gonna be like, oh, your vehicle's behind mine, can I grab your keys and move the vehicle? Like that never happens. I don't hop into other cars. Even when I get a rental car, it's like the same option for every rental car company. It's the same small SUV that I'm hopping into. So I really don't drive that many different cars.
Going back to the gas station thing, one really cool thing that I like about EVs is that when you're going downhill, it's actually using the energy of your car, and the motors are putting that energy back into the battery. So you're recharging as you're driving downhill or when you're slowing down for like a stoplight or a stop sign. So if we look at this graph right now, as Cambry eases up on the accelerator, the green dial right here puts energy back into the battery, and you can see the efficiency graph over there on that side too as we're driving.
As we're driving so slow. I would say I'm not a super picky person when it comes to the look of a vehicle or even really how many seats. Obviously it has to accommodate our current family, but I am just picky about driving an electric vehicle because it means I don't have to go to the gas station. That is my #1 requirement, is it's gotta require less transfers from me in and out of the vehicle and less time hauling my wheelchair over my body to get inside the vehicle.
Yeah, and not to put words in her mouth or anything, but she talked earlier about like how her shoulders over time can get like worn out, you know, because everyone ages eventually, and she wants to keep her shoulders in good condition. The less often we transfer, the better. And so when she parks in the garage, we get a full tank of electricity every single night, which is super nice.
Since I've been driving it for a little while now, like about an hour, I've gotten accustomed to being high off the ground. So I think I like this seating better than my Tesla.
Obviously when you're up in here, it's nicer, but is it worth the hike getting
in the climb? Good question. I don't know. Maybe assess that after a couple of times in and out. Like, does it get easier or does it make me feel tired?
Well, luckily we do have this Rivian for a few days, and even though this video is not sponsored, Rivian has given us a discount code where you can get 500 Rivian bucks if you use our code when you buy your Rivian. You can use those points for the rooftop tent, the camp kitchen, or even tires. And we get 500 points as well, so thank you very much for using our code when you get your Rivian.
It's a win-win.
Luckily, the height of the vehicle isn't the only variable that we're deciding between. Cambry also enjoys towing things, which is something that this Rivian R1S is actually pretty good at. She's a horse girl. You might be like, whoa, where's the hitch at? Turns out it is right under here. Cambry, who's this guy?
This is Meteor. He's my big four-legged friend, and I give lessons on him, and we're teaching him to be a paradressage horse, so that means that I will be able to ride him, but he's still pretty young, so he's still learning.
Nice.
Huh, good job.
So now that you have a whole horse on the back, how does it feel driving with the Rivian R1S?
It feels smooth, honestly. I'm aware that there is a valuable
payload.
Yeah, in the back, but it feels like it drives pretty much the same, which is nice.
So Cambry's, the current Model X that we have right now, can I think tow around like 4,000 is what it's like rated for, but since we have the sport tires on it, it can only tow like 3,000. The Model X only being able to tow 3,000 pounds means she can only take a small horse or a small pony around, which, believe it or not, she has had a horse inside of her car before. That's what we're dealing with over here. Cool thing about the Rivian is that it's estimating the load for us, or the current trailer weight, which is right around 4,500 pounds. And it also gives us, you know, like the motor temperature, and also estimates like our total range with the current trailer on the back. This tri-motor Rivian R1S that we're driving right now has 371 miles of range, but when we hook up the trailer to it, it's probably gonna decrease our range by a third, give or take. The Rivian has so much power it doesn't feel like it's towing anything when a trailer is connected, but you will notice a significant range decrease depending on how heavy the trailer is. But one thing we found with Cambry's car is that over the course of like the last 6 years or so, we've cracked 3 of the rims with her like just regular driving. And I think your Model X has probably been in more off-roady places than any other Model X on the planet.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, she drives it she drives it like a Jeep, where like the Rivian R1S is a little bit more of like an off-roady, outdoorsy vehicle with a towing capacity of 7,700 pounds, which is probably based off of, you know, one horse and trailer weighing 4,500. I bet it would be just fine towing a trailer and 2 horses. Not that we need to get one of those.
Oh, we could.
Longtime viewers of the channel know why Cambry is currently in a wheelchair, but for people who are just tuning in or watching for the first time, Cambry, what happened?
Why am I in a wheelchair? So when I was 18, I got into a horse accident and broke my back and severed my spinal cord. So I have been a wheelchair user for almost 20 years this summer, but I still really like horses, so I'm still involved. I still ride, I teach lessons, we have miniature ones at our house. Still that obsessed horse girl.
Which is why we tow horses, I don't know, not very often, probably once a month maybe,
Springtime.
give or take. Yeah, having a vehicle that can tow is extremely important for us. Up until this point, Cambry's been using her hands to drive the vehicle, but Cambry, what if I told you you didn't have to use your hands or your feet to drive? Are you nervous?
Yeah.
All right, so Rivian has something called Enhanced Highway Assist, which is like a hands-free driving. You do have to keep your eyes on the road. Are you ready to try it out?
That makes me so nervous. I don't ever use those features, so.
So we are currently driving, we're doing 62 on the freeway, and if you take this stock and just pull it back towards you twice, then it should engage.
Okay, but I feel like I need to still.
No, you're good.
Still.
Enhanced Highway Assist is on, and it says keep your eyes on the road. So right here, there's like a blue highway, and the car is just, you know, driving along that range. So now you're not using your hands or your feet to drive. And the cool part is that with other vehicles, sometimes you have to like grab the steering wheel to like jostle it. But with this one, as long as you're still paying attention to the road with your eyes, this system will stay engaged pretty much indefinitely, unless there's like some obstacle in the road that it needs help, you know, taking over. How you feeling so far?
I feel a little bit like, you know that feeling when you're going up a roller coaster and you like know you're about to have that drop? Like that's kind of what it feels like right now. Not that I'm expecting a drop, but like just feel anxious.
Anxious is the right word. So RJ said in an interview recently that they're going to expand this, you know, the driving assistance features into regular unmapped roads later this year in 2025. And then he said, not me, he said that they're going to do eyes-free driving in 2026.
Wait, what does that mean?
I don't know what that means.
Eyes-free? Like you can be blind?
That seems like a big jump to me. But anyway, the Generation 2, which is this R1S right now, has all the hardware in it to be eyes-free driving in 2026, which sounds cool.
Wait, so does it know if you're sleeping?
It does. So like if you were to like just stare at me for a while, it would eventually stare into my eyes. It would eventually say like, hey, pay attention to the road. Like you're not, if you were like looking at your phone while this system is engaged, it would catch you and be like, hey, you're not following the rules.
That's cool.
Yeah, so you haven't touched the steering wheel yet, right?
No.
It's cool because like on the center dash, you can see like all the cars around you, which is kind of fun. As of right now, because we're only gonna give Rivian credit for what exists currently, as of right now, you could basically do your whole commute to work without touching the hand controls at all. As long as you're not towing a trailer, it does not work with trailering yet.
I think that's a good call.
I might not have said at the beginning, but we did drop off the trailer before we started the hands-free driving.
I'd have to get used to it for sure.
I personally do like to drive the vehicle myself, so I don't use the feature a whole lot, but it is nice on really long road trips, especially when you're out in the middle of nowhere where the car can just kind of drive for you. But yeah, when you want to re-engage, just tap on the brake with your hand.
Well, maybe hold on the steering wheel too.
Yeah, because it will give you control of the steering wheel back.
So holding on the steering wheel, tap the brake.
And then the blue highway disappears. Yep, it's yours.
I think I just like feeling more in control, but it's a cool feature. Thank you.
Before we try out the car seats, I want to show you this cool little trick. So if I press this button right here, all of the seats lay down, so it's completely flat. Then back here, oh, there's also 7 seats. So there's 2 in the front, 3 in the middle, and then 2 more right here that fold up, which is kind of cool. And then back here is a storage space and then room for a spare tire. And the spare tire is important because not every electric vehicle comes with one of those. At least this one has a spot for it.
Another thing I look for when looking for a future car is how easy it is to get my children in and out of the car seat. Or in this case, Mr. Teddy Bear.
So this one is 5 inches taller than her Model X, which does make a difference.
Mr. Teddy Bear is quite a bit lighter than my child, but
yeah,
this is a good reference.
Lay up.
Oh, one hand. Okay, let me try it more realistically.
Yeah.
Just kidding. Okay.
That's a big reach.
That's a big reach. And luckily, one of our children can get in by themselves.
Yeah.
Probably be a little here, sit, wiggle maneuver. I think it's doable. It's just a little higher, a little more challenging.
You can reach both straps. That's good.
Yep.
We have a 3-year-old who can get up in his seat by himself, but the 18-month-old, not really. There's like this brief window of time where, you know, Cambry still has to get the kids up in their car seat, and we're still in that window of time. So the height of these chairs in the Rivian is a big factor for us at the moment. Okay, Cambry, you've had the R1S for a couple days now. What are your final thoughts?
I like her. I really like how she tows, and I like feeling higher off the ground. I like the way she looks. And I love that she's an EV. I'm gonna maybe play a little bit more with maybe my actual children and see if we can get them in and out with a little more ease, and see how after a couple more transfers how I feel about the height difference for me, but she's a good option.
So the pros of the Rivian R1S are that it tows really good, but the cons are that the seats might not be quite as low as you would prefer.
Correct.
Good thing we're not in a rush at the moment, but it's good to know. It's good we have all the facts on the table. If you're planning on getting a Rivian, however, definitely use our code. We each get 500 Rivian bucks, and it works out great for everybody. Cambry, you want to finish this off?
Thanks a ton for watching. We'll see you around.